I have decided something. What have you decided? I have decided
that
when we're born, we have a mommy and daddy, right? And then when we grow up and get married, we have children of our own. And then our children grow up and get married and have children. And so on and so on. So it's very important and very fun also to...
You're listening to Interesting Sex Podcast, a podcast about who, how, where, and why we fuck. I'm your host, Miranda, and like always, I'm happy to be here. Thanks so much for subscribing and sharing. I can tell you've been doing that because I have more listeners. Thank you so much, and keep up the good work, and give me a rating. Love it. Today, I get to talk to super sexy, super tall Bruce. We get into ethical non-monogamy, and since he has been living an alternate lifestyle for the last 20 years and in kink for the last 10 years, he has a lot of advice and a lot of things just to teach us about how to be more open and honest and how to be effective and communicative with your partner from a dominant perspective. So I hope you enjoy this episode. I would like you to open your ears, your hearts, and your holes and give a nice warm welcome to Bruce. Yummy.
Hello.
Hi, is this Bruce?
Yes, it is.
Hi, Bruce. This is Miranda calling from Interesting Sex.
Hello, Miranda. How are you today?
I'm good. How are you today?
I'm doing just fine.
I love talking to a large, handsome man. So I'm pretty good.
All right. I think that's okay, yeah.
Let's tell everyone how tall you are because you don't have a lot of social media, so they can't look you up, I don't think.
No, I don't. I'm not on a lot of social media platforms. I am currently 6'4".
Currently?
I used to be 6'5".
What happened?
I shrunk. It happens when you get older.
You shrunk a whole inch?
Yeah.
I hope in the right places.
No, it kind of switched from one place to another, unfortunately.
Okay, so hopefully it went from your head to your dick.
Well, I never charted it, so.
Okay, so you're currently 6'4".
Yep.
Why don't you tell me a little bit about yourself? Tell me how you identify as a person gender-wise, if you do at all, and then how you identify sexually.
Let's see. I am a cis white male heterosexual. I pretty much identify myself as a top or a dominant, depending who I'm playing with. Let's see. That's pretty much it. It's easy enough. I'm kind of the stereotypical. I'm a cis white male heterosexual.
Okay. And then you said you're top or dominant depending on who you're playing with. I know a top means that you're just topping the experience, like leading, like if it's a flogging scenario or impact play, like you're just the one giving it. But what makes you, I know that's the difference between top and dominant, but what makes you mentally change from top to dominant with your partners? What's the difference for you?
It has to do a lot with the person I'm playing with. If I'm doing service topping at a club, there is no real headspace involved. There's no long-term engagement. I'm simply the one who's doing the giving the experience. I'm, hitting or flogging or paddling or rough body play or whatever it happens to be. Now, if I'm being a dominant with someone, then there is more of a connection. It's usually not a one-time scene. So you're doing a lot of getting in someone's head and talking to them, and sometimes play picks up from other play. So that's more of a dominant.
What does play picks up from other play mean?
Sometimes when you're flirting or you did a scene previously and your submissive or your sub says something and you remind them of it in the most interesting ways, such as somebody flirting with me online, or we've played together before, and they'll say something snarky or bratty, and then it's okay. All right, I'm not going to bring it up until I bring it up, and that's when I put somebody on the cross. I go, you remember this? Yeah, we're going to remind you of why that's a bad idea or why that's a really good idea.
Right. Okay. So you said that you top at like clubs, and you said you're giving the experience. You when you're at a club and just being a top versus a dom, what do you get out of the experience? Or is it more a gift?
I get through giving. It's not, being top from the bottom or anything like that. It is, I try to give an experience that somebody's going to enjoy. If they're enjoying it, I'm enjoying it. If they can reciprocate some amount of energy, some amount of, either physical or emotional or verbal confirmation that they're enjoying, then I'm having a good time. There have been times where I have played with somebody who is a black hole, where somebody, you go ahead, you do a scene, and you're doing it, and they do absolutely nothing in return. They don't act, they don't react, they don't nothing. And that's one of those signs where it's like, okay, well, thank you. I'm never playing with you again.
But do you think that's just like their personality and they don't know how to yet emote things? Like maybe that's like what they're trying to get through?
It's possible, but that's something that you need to be able to communicate with me ahead of time. If a person is very much non-responsive, let me know ahead of time.
Right.
Versus you get on the cross or on the bench or wherever and there's no emotions. There's no anything. I'm like, that's not fun for me.
Right. Okay, so you're just looking for somebody to like any kind of reaction, even if it's not like that good.
Yeah.
Because then you would change what you were doing to give them a good experience.
Oh, yeah. If somebody's not enjoying what they're doing, I stop, I check in, I find out what's going on, what's good, what's bad, and change accordingly. Because when you're service topping, you're pretty much giving a service over to someone else. And if they're not going to enjoy it, then why are you doing it?
Right.
Also, with something like this, you don't want to hurt somebody. You don't want to damage them either physically or emotionally.
Right.
When you're playing with somebody who's brand new, you don't know how they're going to react. But generally, like with anything else, if you cook someone a meal and they have absolutely no reaction to the meal, then do you really want to cook for them again?
Yeah.
It's the same thing.
Yeah. Do you like playing with new people and being a service top at clubs?
Yes, I do. I do enjoy it. I don't want to do it all the time because I like having that connection with somebody. But doing service topping is enjoyable. I mean, you're taking somebody who may be scared, apprehensive, just flat out, I don't know what I'm doing. And you're kind of giving them that first education.
Yeah, and you've done kink for a while, right?
Yes, yeah. I have been in one alternative lifestyle or another for the past, let's say, about 20 years, and I've been doing kink for about the last 10.
Okay. And so what's your favorite kind of play to share?
My favorite kind of play is hands-on. Getting my hands on someone and getting that instant or immediate feedback. Now, this doesn't mean I'm groping parts of your body that you don't want me to grope or touch. It's not that. It doesn't have to be sexual at all or sensual at all. This can be purely a physical here, try this, see how much you like it. Generally, most of my play is impact-based. If I'm not using my hands, I am using paddles or crops or floggers or slappers.
What's a crop?
A crop?
Crop? Like a horse crop?
Yes. Usually has either a thin or a wide tip to it that kind of moves back and forth like a piece of leather or a piece of rubber. Sometimes you find them with like molded pieces of plastic, like shaped of a heart or a dick or something like that. And then I've seen it.
A dick crop?
Yeah, a dick crop. And then you slap somebody with it.
I wonder if people use the dick crop on horses too.
Probably not. Generally, you don't find those in tack shops.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know. It might be good for racing. It might make your horse go a little faster.
Then they're going to wonder who got in your toy bag and switched your crops. There's a good bit of flexibility to the shaft of it, and
why are you saying shaft? You're just making that's crop.
And there is some flexibility to it so that, you can vary how much sting you're going to put on somebody, whether it's on their ass or their thighs or their breasts or wherever.
Okay. Do you have a type?
Type of what?
A type of lady?
The people I generally spend my free time with are people that smile, enjoy life, and have fun. I don't need somebody who's overly stressed, overly dramatic, anything to that effect. Looks are important, but it is not the most important thing. I want to be able to spend time with you and have fun. If you're a beautiful, and I have dated beautiful women before, sometimes it goes well. Sometimes it's absolutely worthless.
Because they're more dramatic?
They have not handled their own stuff. They don't know what's going on with themselves. They're not self-aware. Mind you, this is not something that only beautiful people have. You can be butt ugly and still not know what the hell's going on with yourself.
No one's butt ugly. It's all perspective. Are you good at basketball?
Nope.
Do you feel like you've had an easier time in your life getting women because you're like a super tall white male?
I'm sure it hasn't hurt.
Yeah.
You see, a lot of women want to go to what they perceive a top should look like. It may not be the white male part, but male, tall, broad shoulders. You kind of have a look. And generally, I stand tall, confident. I also usually wear kilts. I usually have maybe cuffs on my hip or something like that. And I'm usually smiling.
Right.
I'm usually a smiling, friendly type of person where people can come up to me and go, hey, can you beat me? Right.
So you mentioned that you kind of got introduced into an alternative lifestyle like 20 years ago.
Yes.
What kind of alternative lifestyle did you start out in?
I started off with swinging. My then girlfriend, now wife, and I started off as swingers. When we were dating for like 6 months. And she had just gotten out of a long-term relationship with her soon-to-be ex-husband. And I just didn't believe in monogamy. I believe in ethical non-monogamy, but I don't believe in there is one person for you for everything you're going to do for the rest of your life. I don't believe in that. So we tried out swinging, and we enjoyed it, and we've been doing it together. We did it together for years, and then that kind of switched over to swinging and polyamory, kind of by accident, where we had somebody in our lives that single female, and she loved us, and we loved her, and we didn't realize it was polyamory until later on. We were like, oh, that's kind of what we were doing. Excellent.
Like, did you know that she was y'all's girlfriend, or you just
Yes.
didn't? Okay.
Yes, we knew. We were husband, wife, girlfriend.
Who slept in the middle?
Usually me. But
It's hard to be in the middle.
Yes, it is. But it was usually me in the middle, but sometimes it was, whoever just happened to fall down there.
Right. If it was post-sex and you, like, pass out.
Yeah.
Okay. And so why did that relationship not work out?
Oh, it did. It worked out very well.
Oh.
And then she found a primary partner. And she kind of got away from the swinging lifestyle. They dabbled in it for years. And then, they kind of moved away. They kind of fell out of it. I still talk to him occasionally, maybe once or twice a year. But it didn't fail. It just became something else.
But did it hurt your heart?
No, because I was happy for her to find somebody that she could love, have a primary partner that she could love, because that's what she really, really wanted. So, no, I wasn't upset. Was I disappointed that we stopped playing? Yes. Would I have asked for anything different? No, because she was happy, and that's all that matters.
Yeah. So what's swinging like? Is it really like you go to parties with other couples and then you just be like, they're hot, let's all take our clothes off together?
I won't say that never happens, but generally you're going to find somebody, you're going to find a couple or a single or whatever you're looking for, and you're going to talk to them, and you're going to find out if they're interested and if they're interesting. If you're
like at a regular bar or party or that has nothing to do with swinging, because that would be kind of scary.
That's a little more difficult because you don't really know what you're getting into at that point.
And you don't know if they're going to be like, ew, like.
Yeah. I'm not going to say it hasn't happened.
Okay.
I'm not going to say it hasn't happened to us, but it's a little more challenging because you never know what you're going to get into. If you go to a munch or a play party or whatever, or a bar meetup where everybody there is kind of there for the same reason and you know what you're getting into, then it's a little bit easier.
Right.
But still, you still have to communicate and talk and find out, all right, what you into? What are you into? Da-da-da-da-da.
Do you and your wife still swing?
Not so much anymore. We do occasionally have a girlfriend over, but it's not swinging so much. It's generally more polyamorous type play.
Okay.
I'll have a girlfriend or whatever, and she'll come over, and the three of us will play. But it doesn't happen often anymore.
Right. So you have girlfriends outside of
Yes.
that, but y'all don't like share them as much anymore. They're just your girlfriends.
Generally, yes. My wife does not have the energy she used to, but there are issues behind that.
What do you mean, like sexual energy, or just in general?
Just energy in general, yeah. My wife has a chronic medical condition that depletes her energy. So
dang, that's no fun.
Yeah, no, it's not any fun at all. We still love each other. My wife and I still love each other. We still spend time together. But occasionally I go out and I have my girlfriends, people who I can do other things with. I can maybe go to a movie with, or go to the club with, or do scenes with, or have sex, or whatever.
Right. So that's pretty cool.
Yes. Yeah, it is. I tell people all the time, my life does not suck. That is my motto.
Right.
I have fun.
So how many girlfriends you said girlfriends like plural, how many girlfriends do you usually have around, or can you handle?
Okay. Right now, I have 2 girlfriends. I usually just have one. It's not like it's a quota thing or anything like that. I just generally have one girlfriend at the time. Right now, I have 2 lovely ladies that I spend my time with when I'm not working or spending time with my wife.
Alrighty.
Yeah.
Does your wife get jealous because she doesn't have other partners anymore, or?
Rarely does she get jealous. If she's feeling neglected or left out, she always talks to me and goes, "Hey, we need to do something." Okay, what do you want to do? Let's do this. Let's do a dinner, or let's play, or whatever it happens to be.
Okay. So you guys have less of a sexual relationship now, and it's more of like a friendship, or it's a little bit of both. Yeah.
My wife? No, we do still have something of a sexual relationship. It is still a loving relationship. I love her. She is my world. I don't have girlfriends to replace my wife. I have people I play with in addition to. I don't take anything away from my primary partner to do anything with something else, do something with anybody else.
Okay, so she's just less active than she used to be.
Yes.
And you're still ready to roll and allowed to enjoy that energy you still have.
Yes.
Okay. You had mentioned ethical non-monogamy.
Yes.
That just means communication all the time?
Yes, it does. Ethical non-monogamy is having any sort of relationship or any sort of partnership outside of the typical binary partnerships that you have. Say husband and wife, or husband and husband, or wife and wife, or whatever, boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever it happens to be. Ethical non-monogamy means you have communicated openly and honestly with all parties involved and have chosen to do something else, like have sex, date, have a BDSM relationship, as long as all parties are aware. That's where the ethical part comes in.
I've just heard, through interviews and stuff with therapists, that it very rarely works long term.
I don't know which therapists you're talking to. Ethical non-monogamy is something that a lot of people practice, but most people don't talk about. It's not for everybody. It's also something you may try and then get out of, and go back to and get out of. And that's perfectly fine too. However you want to do it, as long as all the parties involved are cognizant of what's going on and agree to it, then what works for you works for you.
Okay. What do you think you enjoy about being dominant and restraining people or something?
It's the power control. It's the power dynamic that I get. I can make somebody feel a certain way. Usually it's pleasurable or sexual in nature. It could also be painful, of course, with the individual's consent. Making someone bruise, making somebody weak in the knees, or make somebody call you daddy, or make somebody call you, or just if you can make somebody forget how to speak English, that's a good time.
So when did you switch from kink and from swinging to poly into kink? Because that was like a 10-year transition.
Swinging into poly kind of just happened naturally. It wasn't like, oh, we're going to be polyamorous now. No, that didn't quite happen like that. We just kind of slowly transitioned. Swinging, we weren't getting everything we wanted at the time. People change. You just do certain things for a while and go, okay, well, I'm less interested in that now. Let's try this. And it was a natural, just fluid progression for us from swinging to polyamory. And that's kind of what got me into kink, because my wife had a girlfriend who she saw who was into BDSM, who she switched with. Mostly she was a dominant with her girlfriend, and she wanted to be submissive with me, because generally in bed I'm the one that's being a little more aggressive, a little more assertive. She said, hey, do you want to try to do this? I was like, okay.
Like, why not?
Well, it wasn't almost a why not. It was more of, I love you, I'll give this a shot. Growing up, I'm a Reformed Roman Catholic. I was Roman Catholic. I got better. My mother always constantly referred to me, telling me, don't hit anybody. You don't know your own strength. Don't hit women. You're not supposed to hit them. They're fragile, yada, yada, yada. So it took...
Were you always a big guy? Like, for your mom to say you don't know your own strength? Yeah.
Yeah. Like my younger brother, who was so much smaller than I was. I was only about 3.5 years older, but he was also like a foot shorter than I was and like 50 pounds lighter. So it was the whole you don't know your own strength, yada, yada, don't hurt somebody. And I had to get past those mental blocks to get into the BDSM lifestyle. And it took time to do that. The first scene I ever did with my wife, I was cold. I thought that's what you were supposed to be. And yeah, it did not go well. She ended up, we had a long discussion afterwards about, what to give and what you can get.
What do you mean? Like, it didn't go well because she was so used to you being like emotionally there that when you switched to coldness, it was too scary?
Pretty much, yeah. She was thinking, it's just we hadn't communicated. I did not know what to do at the time, how to show my emotions and what emotions I should show. I didn't know I was supposed to enjoy it and show that enjoyment. I just thought as a dominant, you were supposed to be cold.
Yeah.
You were supposed to simply be
mean,
an instrument of power, not be kind of back and forth with the energy. I didn't know that at first. So in other words, my first scene, yeah, exactly. My first scene was not very good. So yeah, it was not enjoyable for either one of us, but they got significantly better.
Right. So what did you learn that you needed to share that you didn't start out with?
You can be a dominant and you can be loving. You can show how much you're enjoying something as well.
But how do you do that?
Oh, geez. You can tell somebody that they're being a very good girl, and you can tell somebody, or, make the little verbal noises, petting someone, getting in someone's ear, getting in someone's head, saying, I like it when you do this. I love this. I'm enjoying making you just sploosh all over the bed, whatever it happens to be. So I learned that, yeah, you can be a dominant and still be not an automaton, not be simply a machine. Give and take for both the person who's giving and the person who's getting. Yeah.
And I guess, too, it's probably just like checking in.
Oh, yes. I always check in with the people I'm playing with. Part of the negotiation, I always tell how to stop a scene, how to have me check in with a scene. And even then, I still check in with a scene. I'll get beside somebody, try not to take them out of the scene too much or out of their headspace and go, are you enjoying this? Is everything good? Do you like this? Do you want more? Do you want, whatever the question happens to be. I also have to make sure by the person's body language if they're enjoying it or not. If hips move a certain way, I know they're enjoying it. If they're trying to get away from whatever I'm doing or flinch up, let me check in for a second. Now, mind you, I do try to make people flinch sometimes. It's fun. It's getting in someone's head. You're like, I'm going to hit you 20 times very lightly the exact same way and then stop. I'm going to wait till if you react, if you think the next one's coming or not. and then maybe hit you somewhere else or do something else just to play with your head.
Okay. You mentioned like that you like to get into people's heads.
Yes.
How does one get into a head? What do you look for? What do you do?
If a person is receptive and they like to have that mental play, that's when you start whispering in their ears and you change the expectations of what they think is going to happen next. Say I'm hitting someone on their ass and I'm using a crop. I'm just whacking, whack, back and forth, warming their ass up.
Whack.
And they're just expecting sting. And then I scratch them with my nails. So,
like surprise attack.
Surprise, yes. And that kind of gets in their head a little bit. You don't know what to expect next. You can also do that by whispering in someone's ear and saying, I know you're enjoying this. How is it? Just whispering whatever's going to fuck with them at that point in time. So they don't know what to expect, but they know they're going to enjoy it.
Bruce, I think you're getting in my head right now. Don't tell anyone. Do you have any favorite scenes that you'd like to anything that's intense and wild that you want to share?
Oh God, a friend of mine and I were co-topping someone. And
was it a girl or a boy that was co-topping?
It was a woman, and somebody we have both played with. And
but the co-top was a boy or a girl?
Male. It was a guy.
Okay, and the person you were topping was a girl?
Was a woman, yes. Okay. And what we did is we both would tell her to do opposing things. He would tell her, he would hit her and then get in her ear and go, "You better not come." And I'd get in her ear and go, "You better start coming." And just back and forth. You don't pick up your pick. You better pick up your foot. Whatever it is, whatever he said, I opposed it.
What did she do?
Freaked out. It was because she was so confused by the end of it and loving every bit of it.
But was she coming when she wasn't supposed to?
I think she ended up coming because
she couldn't take it anymore.
She couldn't take it anymore. Yeah. So she would try to not come and then come, or try to come and not come. And she was coming but trying to stop herself at the exact same time. And it was so much fun just fucking with her one way after another.
Could you tell who she liked more by who she ended up listening to?
No.
Because she's like, okay, I'll pick up my foot because you told me to pick up my foot, but I don't know what to do right now.
The thing is, whoever she agreed to or followed, the other one would punish her. So if she picked up her foot and I didn't want her to pick up her foot, I'd hit her ass hard. Go, "Who said you could pick up your foot?" Boom, put it down. And then it would just go back and forth like that. And it was hilariously fun to do.
I think that sounds fun.
It was a blast.
What constitutes something as a scene?
A scene is where two or more people have some sort of dynamic. It's usually previously agreed upon, negotiated, and they do some sort of playing where it's not just completely sexual, where there is that power dynamic, where I'm going to walk up, grab your hair, mind you, somebody I've already negotiated with, grab your hair, bend you over, flip up your skirt and start spanking your ass. That might be considered a scene.
Okay, but you don't have to negotiate every time if it's the same partner, if you guys have already negotiated in the beginning that this kind of behavior is okay?
You always want to check in. A negotiation can take 10 seconds with somebody you've already played with, and it can be if it's somebody I've played with, like a girlfriend of mine, and I've played with her dozens and dozens of times, I could just walk up, grab her by the back of the head, going, "You ready for this?" And they're like, "Yep." That's a negotiation. We're done.
Okay.
Now, if it's somebody
does anyone ever say no?
Oh, yeah.
Like a girlfriend, though?
Yeah. Yeah. And they'll say no. And it's like, okay, what's up? And if it's you're being a smart ass, and it's like, okay, yeah, moving on. But if it's actually, hey, something's going on, I'm not mentally ready for this today, or I've had a bad day at work, I was like, okay, all right, no problem.
And then you just go down on them?
No, I stop immediately.
Right.
I'll stop everything I'm doing and just talk.
Right. So then it's like all sexual things are off the table. And so
until I get a yes. And when you're playing like this, no does not mean yes. Yes means yes. No means no. Unless you get a specific yes, it's still considered a no.
Right. What's your aftercare kind of style as like you said you're more of like a caring daddy type. What is that like?
Some people, it depends. If somebody I've not played with before, I'll negotiate aftercare. Do you have somebody here with you that you want to cuddle with? Do you need to cuddle? Do you want to cuddle with me? Do you just need water? Do you want a high five and walk out the door? And I've had all of those things happen. I'll do an intense scene with somebody, and then they'll go cuddle with their significant other. I'm perfectly fine with that. Also, I will take somebody off of a cross, pick them up, carry them to a chair, stick them on my lap, and I will just hold them until, reality comes back.
And I've been learning that sometimes dominants actually need aftercare too.
Yeah. Yes.
What do you need for that?
The cuddling afterwards usually works very well for me, where I take somebody, and again, if it's somebody who wants the cuddling, I'll take them, we'll go sit down, and my heart rate will come down, and my headspace will come back to reality, especially if it's an intense scene where I get into dom space, I get into headspace, where, all right, we're doing this, I'm enjoying everything, I'm having a grand time. And
I've heard of subspace, but I haven't heard of dom space.
Yes, there is a dom space.
That makes sense.
Yes.
I've heard about people saying like that part of them takes over.
Yes.
So that's basically just dom space.
Pretty much, yeah. Where, your personality doesn't completely change. You're still the same person, but you have a different mindset. You're like, all right, let's do this. You may not walk up to a stranger and smack their ass, but if you've agreed to it, and all right, beautiful woman gets on the cross, or whomever gets on the cross, and they're wiggling their ass at you, and you're like, yep, this is happening.
Are you an ass man? You mentioned a lot of butts.
Well, generally, when you're doing scenes, especially with people who are new, you generally want to focus on the ass because it is a very hittable surface. There's
a little squishier.
Yeah, it can be. Sometimes I've hit a hard ass before. Good God, I've hit hard asses before. But there's less chance to do damage. There are less nerve endings. Most people like getting hit on their ass. Some people like their chest hit, their back hit, their thighs, whatever. Their hands, their feet.
Do you think subspace and dom space are a similar brain reaction, just taken differently?
Yes. Yes. It is your kind of the fight or flight response. You have endorphins, epinephrine, norepinephrine, catecholamines. Basically, your brain chemistry goes, yay, we're having good times. And you don't think the same way you would as if you were just driving your car or maybe working out or something, something like that, something else that will change your brain chemistry a little bit. You can get high being a top. You can get high being a submissive. I have seen a lot of people who cannot speak after a scene because they are just not there. They have a 1,000-yard stare. The room could be 20 feet long, and they're looking past that wall. And that's perfectly fine. That's what some people want to get into. I want to get into headspace. I want to get into subspace. Do it, please. It's fun.
You know who else gets highs is runners.
Yeah, they get a runner's high. Yeah, and it's because their body is kicking so many endorphins through their body because, you know what? This isn't comfortable. Running 10 miles is not fun in and of itself. But you get that high.
So it makes you want to do it.
It makes you want to do it. Kills the pain.
It kind of like makes you want to get spanked because you know you're going to get high.
Yeah, yeah. And as long as you're doing it responsibly, safely, safe, sane, consensual, or risk-aware consensual kink, which one you follow, you have to have that. And you want to get high from this? Perfectly fine. Just don't do other things before you get hit. Like, try to get high. Don't be drunk and try to do a scene, because that's not going to end well. If you're drunk, you don't know how much you're getting hit. You don't know how hard you're getting hit. I may damage something. I may push a boundary that you may not know exists. It's a red flag for me. I don't want to mess somebody up or even have something come back on me.
Yeah. Do you happen to have a sexual bucket list scenario that you would like to have?
Oh, good grief. I have done a lot of things. One of the ones I enjoy is just having a couple of days, and just having people that I enjoy, people that I love around me. And do you want to fuck somewhere? All right, go fuck somewhere. You want to cuddle, take a nap? Fine. And just, all right, what are they doing? They're fucking. We're fucking. We're fucking. All right, all right, we're doing this. We're doing that. Just have a couple of days where you do nothing but chill out, relax, eat, have sex, and just love each other. That's kind of a sexual bucket list. Also,
just like get an Airbnb like mansion and just have a bunch of different people there that are sex positive and open.
Oh God, yeah, that would be great. I'd experienced something like that before, but yeah, it's so much fun.
Yeah.
That's something I really love doing. Doesn't have to be kink involved. Could be just sex. Could be kink as well. Perfectly fine either way.
Yeah.
Also, there's a couple of kinky things I'd probably like to try out. Strapping somebody to a Sybian.
What's a Sybian?
What? You don't know?
No.
A Sib. Oh.
Why am I supposed to know what a Sybian is?
Okay. A Sybian.
Sounds like a car.
It could sound like a motorcycle if you do it wrong. A Sybian is one of the most popular sex toys around. It's kind of, I would say it's about 8 inches tall, kind of like a half barrel shaped, and you can stick different phalluses on them. You can have nubs. You could have something that looks like a golf ball. You could have double-ended dildos. You could have big old Coke-sized freaking cocks on there. But it has a rotation and a vibration setting. And
it's like a saddle kind of thing. I think I have heard of this. I just didn't know what it was.
Yeah, it's kind of like a saddle, and sometimes they have a little block that you can put your hands down on or whatever. It will do everything for a woman except take out the trash.
And you want to do like what's it called, like orgasm torture or something, where you would torture?
Yeah,
you would
force orgasms.
Yeah, I know some people call it torture, but I'm like, why is that torture? I guess because you can't take it anymore? Like, what happens? Yeah.
It's the whole, I don't know, say you've never had more than 5 orgasms in a row, and I try to give you 12.
Oh, that's
quite torturous. It may be a little torturous, but you're still enjoying it.
Right.
But you hate it at the same time. But the enjoyment overwhelms the hate.
Because you don't know if your body can take it anymore, but it does.
Yep.
Well, that sounds like fun, Bruce.
Oh, that's a blast. There's absolutely nothing wrong with, it's like, I can't come anymore. Want to bet? That sounds like a challenge.
Well, if you get a knock on your door, it's probably just me.
You know what? I'll leave the front door open for you, hon.
Thanks. So that's a bucket list kink thing you want to try.
I've done it. I've never strapped somebody to a Sybian to do that, because I would love to fuck with somebody. Just do it. Set it on, I don't know, a medium high, not completely 100% all the way up. Something medium high where they're orgasming, and then just leave the room so they can't reach the controller. And they're stuck there. Would you bring them
snacks sometimes?
You know what? I wouldn't actually completely leave. I would still keep an eye on them, but they wouldn't be able to see me.
Right.
Oh, that'd be so much fun. It's like, you son of a bitch, and just keep having orgasms. Let's walk in. How's it going? Everything cool? All right, bye. Just be that little bit of a jackass.
Yeah. That sounds fun. For you and for them.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I want to thank you so much for opening up to everybody here and bringing your positivity and kind domness to the world around you.
You are very welcome. It was my pleasure, and it was my pleasure to talk to you as well.
Thank you. I wish you luck with all your juggling of ladies. Or not luck. I wish you continued joy.
Yes, thank you.
You're like, I don't need luck.
My life does not suck, and I don't take it for granted for one day.
Good. Well, thank you so much. If anything rad happens in your life, please let me know.
I will be more than willing to.
Okay, and invite me to that mansion.
Will do.
Okay.
Bye.
Have a great day.
Well, lucky for me, I have his number. So I might be using it. Do you think you have interesting sex and you'd like to talk about it or be on my show or just tell me whatever you want to tell me? Go to InterestingSexPodcast.com or message me at InterestingSexPodcast@gmail.com. I'm on Instagram. Same thing. Please let's remember that we are so lucky to live in a time and a place where we can have sex with who and how we want. And let's send out our love to those who are being sex trafficked. There's nothing worse that I can think of than a child being sex trafficked. I can't wait to see you next Tuesday to find out what the pussy drags in. My pussy. Thank you to the band 41 for this super rad song, 41music.net.
Listen very carefully, and when I say now, I want you to have sex. Now.